Well, hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Thrive Live. I'm your host, James Duncan, Director of Marketing and Engagement. I almost screwed up my own title there for Thrive Mortgage. So I hope you're having a great afternoon. Sitting beside me is Mr. Tay Tolliver. Tay, say hello to the folks.
What's up, Thrive Nation? What's up, people? Thank you for joining us today.
So Tay, what's your role here at Thrive?
So you're talking about messing up your own title. So yeah. I'm the Director of Community Advancement.
See, that's a lot easier than mine.
Is it?
We're just going to go with that.
And Director of Talent, Attraction, and Careers.
And talent. So you're basically in charge of getting kind of like a brand ambassador to all the communities that we serve, as well as you're basically the head honcho of recruiting. More or less?
Yeah, more or less.
You wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Well, the reason we want to have Tay on today is because he is one of the foremost experts in the mortgage industry when it comes to as his title implied, getting out into the community, whether it's an underserved community or just getting the name, the Thrive's name out there in the public. He's great at connecting. I mean, you want to watch somebody work a room, you should go to a networking event with this guy because he knows everybody. So, Tay, it's fun to have you on the show. And what we're going to talk about today?
Let's talk about what some LOs should be doing if they're not currently doing it, and what do some of those conversations sound like?
Okay, sounds good.
So it's all started from me having conversations with a group of builders last week in West Texas, and we were just talking about moving inventory. You know, that hasn't been a problem in the last 24 months, right? But this year, we have builders out there who may have specs on the ground, who may have listings that have gone longer than expected.
Right.
But they've lost actual contracts because of, not having certain products. Right. So the product that I'm talking about today is Home2Home.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell them a little bit of how Home2Home works.
Okay. Well, basically, Home2Home is a proprietary program here at Thrive, and what it effectively does is it allows folks who are interested in purchasing a home to forego having to do any kind of financing contingency with their offer. Essentially what it means. Now, there's a lot of details that go into it, so this is not like the full program guidelines that I'm giving you right now, but essentially the end result is that you don't have to sell your departing residence in order to purchase your incoming residence. And so that's the heart of what Home2Home is all about. And there's three different variations that we have. One is the original Home2Home, which effectively gives you 6 months to sell your departing residence. And in this market, I mean, obviously things aren't like houses aren't getting the 60 offers in the first 5 hours of the listing like they were a year and a half or a year ago. But they're still moving quick. They're still like stuff is not having to sit very, very long if it's priced right. And so we're starting to see a lot of great success with the Home2Home product. There's also Home2Home Expanded, which is a little bit of a variation on that. We can get into the details on that. And then there's also Cash to Home. So Cash to Home is just kind of it's like Home2Home on steroids. And so let's talk about some of the variations that we've got and kind of what unique situations those are for.
Real quick, something that you had pointed out, and the reason I started talking to the builders about it all together is because he was saying he lost some contracts due to contingencies.
Right.
And having a product like a Home2Home, the contingency goes completely away.
Yep.
I told him, I said, and your customer might only have to pay interest-only payments until they sell their home.
Yeah.
And he was like, so you mean to tell me I could put a customer under contract, they can move in before Christmas, and they don't have to sell their home until the summer at the latest?
Preferably not that
right.
That's kind of a little close, but right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I said exactly.
Exactly right. Yeah.
He was floored.
I imagine he was. Yeah, because that's the cool thing, because the seller, I mean, it's no skin off their back,
right?
Because the seller is getting their proceeds. We have the normal closing, just like we always do. Seller gets their proceeds, they go on about their happy way, and with money in their pocket, and that for that builder, he can now go build another house, doesn't have to wait.
Exactly.
So it's a great opportunity to really give your buyers, those of you who are realtors out there, it's a great way to give your buyers that competitive leverage that you might need if you're in a competitive bidding situation, or if you're a seller and you have a situation where maybe you do have some inventory, or maybe you've got a listing that's kind of sitting on the market a little longer than you would otherwise like. This is a great alternative for you to go ahead and get that deal closed, let somebody else who wants to take care of that home get in there and start taking care of it. Decorate it, as you mentioned, decorate it up for Christmas, which is a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. And
Have
everybody's
you finished your Christmas
happy.
shopping?
I have not. I got my present for you.
I like that.
We'll get into that later after the show, though. So that's a situation for folks, or Home to Home is a great product for folks that are they're set and ready to go. They need that new incoming residence right now. What about and we have a lot of consumers who will watch this show as well. What if they're sitting there saying, "Well, I would love to get a new house right now, but it's I don't know if I can qualify." What does Thrive have to offer that crowd?
So that was a great segue into the next product, was Thrive4Home.
It's like I've done this before.
I know. Tease it up very easily for us. But anyway, Thrive4Home. So that program is designed for customers who really might be credit challenged right now, that we can help them get over that hump. We can actually coach them to being able to qualify for a home loan. And there's multiple ways that they could go about doing that. We have partnered with some HUD certified counselors that can help them if we choose to go with a third party. We even have a do-it-yourself version of the Thrive4Home program. So you can fix your credit situation yourself with a little bit of coaching and guidance.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about the Thrive4Home program is the fact that it's not just us, the lender, saying, sorry, you don't qualify, your FICO score is too low.
Right.
Go fix it, then come back to us. We actually have people employed by Thrive who are acting as your advocate, your cheerleader,
accountability partner.
Accountability partner, exactly. That's a little bit more grown-up way to put it.
Yeah.
Holding your hand and keeping you accountable to doing those steps, doing the homework, and getting to a point where we can get you credit approved.
Absolutely.
I think that's awesome. And I have what amazes me is when you or I or anybody with Thrive will go to industry conferences or go have these conversations with folks out in the community, and their jaws drop, and they're like, I can't believe you guys are doing that.
Internally. Yeah. They can't believe that we have someone that is an actual Thrive employee helping a customer who does not currently qualify.
Yeah. Well, just as a reminder, this is a live broadcast, and we are fielding your questions live here on the show. So if you've got any questions, be sure to pop them in the comments. We'll get them answered. Either I or Tay will be able to address those questions for you. So go ahead and start popping those in if you got them. So what's been just generally speaking, what's been the success rate that we've experienced with Thrive4Home in terms of getting people into
a home, into the program? So right now, what you really are experiencing, we have graduated over 200 families into the program this year alone.
That's awesome.
We have very steep goals, though. We want to graduate every single customer. So part of the program is holding the customers accountable. Yeah. You know, making sure they follow up with those phone calls, making sure that they sign whatever waiver they need to when they're talking to some of these creditors, and holding them accountable for doing that, because it's like a 92% success rate if they follow through the entire program.
Yeah. So, I mean, the bottom line is, if you want to get into a home, if you want to get qualified for a mortgage, I mean, the whole slogan with Thrive4Home is it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when.
Right.
And so if that is a desire that you have, and you don't feel like you are in a position now where you can qualify, or you feel like it's an untenable dream for you, it's something down the road, it's only for rich people, it's only for the whoever, whatever category you want to ascribe to folks. No, it isn't. If you want a home, you can get a home, and we can show you how to do that. So, but as you said, there is that accountability piece. Like we're not just going to say, oh, we'll just ignore that guideline or this guideline or anything.
Yeah.
We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to help you, coach you through the whole process, so that there's no surprises. You know what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, we'll say it.
Thank you. But so what else? What else are you seeing in the industry right now that you think is worth chatting about, as far as like whether it's inventory, whether it's
I think,
whatever.
You know, I really think that loan officers now need to dig into that bag of tools and be well versed on multiple products.
Yeah.
If your company has them, right?
Right.
One thing that I can say is, here at Thrive, our loan officers are very spoiled with the fact that they have just about every loan product known in this business to be able to be successful, to be able to go out and help more families. And being well versed on some of those, I just got through talking to our wisdom, excuse me. our wisdom team this morning. And if you've never heard of how to do a reverse purchase loan, living in the South, it's a disservice to your customers.
Right.
I mean, that's just people retire to the sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
And knowing that they could do that and purchase a home and never have a mortgage payment.
You know, I saw an interesting statistic the other day that said that I think it was just over 40% of all all homes right now, where the owner is the primary occupant, just over 40% of those homes are on free and clear.
Wow.
That is a whole bunch of people sitting on a
ton of equity.
Boatload of equity. Right. And so you mentioned the HECM for purchase, or the HECM is the industry term for a reverse mortgage. You if you've ever heard of that, then you probably know it more commonly as a reverse mortgage. But a reverse mortgage is basically a tool that is you have to be 65 or older to qualify for it. Some states will allow you to go 62, excuse me. Some states will allow you to go down to 55. I think Arizona is one of those states. But you've got to, in most locations, you got to be 62 or better to qualify for a reverse mortgage. And effectively, it's just like the name implies, it is a reverse mortgage. You have no mortgage payment. You still have to keep up with insurance and taxes. Yep. What are some of the other specifics about a reverse?
And as far as the insurance and taxes, those can be rolled into that program as well. So then they're not responsible for that out of pocket monthly.
Right.
Excuse me, you're getting me choked up. I guess I'm getting excited. I need to go originate. But then also leveraging that as a refinance as well for their primary residence. So knowing that maybe some of these retirees are looking at their portfolio and seeing how it has diminished over the last 2 years or so, year and a half. Right. And now they can actually pull some of that equity out and not have a mortgage payment to pay back. I mean, it's advantageous to anyone that is sitting on a free and clear home.
Absolutely.
The beneficiary, you set all of that up in advance. Right. So then there's no worry what happens when mom and dad pass away. Right. It's already mapped out and there's a plan in place.
Right. Now, there's definitely a lot of additional guidelines that you're going to want to know all the specifics on, but you mentioned just a second ago that you can use a reverse mortgage to purchase a property, which I think is pretty phenomenal. A lot of people don't know that, unfortunately. And so what's the strategy or what's the thinking with a HECM for purchase?
So it was pretty cool. So part of it is it's only a 50% LTV program. Right. So if grandma and grandpa want to move closer to the grandkids and the neighborhood is roughly, let's just say the asking price of that property is $500,000, instead of grandma and grandpa having to spend $500,000 out of pocket, they only have to bring $250,000 plus fees out of pocket. Right. That's a complete difference compared to what has happened in the past where you had to pay cash for a home. This really gives grandma and grandpa that opportunity to come in at half the cost. Yeah. And still not have a mortgage payment. And still not have a mortgage payment. Exactly.
I think that's phenomenal. I mean, and then there's also the other alternative where somebody thinks that they want to take their proceeds from a departing residence that they're leaving, and let's say it's only $300,000, and they want to pay cash because they don't want a mortgage payment. And then they think, well, I guess I'm stuck at $300,000 or lower. Well, no, not anymore.
Exactly.
Now you can go up to that $500,000, you can go up to $600,000. You can buy a bigger home, better home, better community, more amenity filled community.
Exactly.
It just really expands the range of options that our seniors have the ability to do because of their diligence in saving money and earning a lot of that equity in the home that they're leaving.
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool. Well, we do have a few questions that I want to answer. This one's about Thrive4Home.
Okay.
How long is the average, would you say is the average enrollee a part of the Thrive4Home program? Are we talking months, weeks, years?
We're seeing on an average anywhere between 4 to 6 months from start to finish.
Okay.
We have some great success stories where folks are really finishing it in less than 45 days.
Wow.
It really depends on their current situation. Obviously, those that have, major credit issues and it has happened over years, it's probably going to take them a little longer. But on an average, we're doing about 4 to 6 months from start to finish for a customer to graduate and qualify for a mortgage.
Well, that's pretty impressive. So for anyone who like that, maybe they've already set as a stated goal, they want to become a homeowner in 2023.
Yeah.
The time for that, but they're scared about their credit and they think they've got to go it all alone.
Right.
Now would be the time for that person to talk to a Thrive loan officer about getting into the Thrive4Home program.
Absolutely.
Because then by summer, by the time the next school year rolls around,
exactly, they're in their home.
They're in their new home.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, that leads me to my second question. How do you get started with the question was asked how you get started with the credit help program, but obviously they're talking about Thrive4Home. How do you get started with that program?
I mean, we always encourage them to apply for a mortgage first.
Yep.
So reach out to one of your local mortgage consultants. They will get the application in the system and actually start the consultation with the customer.
Okay.
We have programs also available for low FICO customers. So that's something that we always need to be aware of. There are products available for folks that have credit scores less than 620.
Right.
It just depends. Is that the best product for that individual? And that's where we want to put people. We want to put them in the best opportunity. So with that being said, though, all you have to do is apply.
Yeah.
You go to Thrive Mortgage. If you want to just go to thrivemortgage.com and apply on our regular website, we can get someone in touch with you to get the process started.
Yeah.
We really make it easy.
Yeah, if you want to apply and start that application process, like Tay was just saying, just go to thrivemortgage.com, look for the Get Started button up at the top. That'll take you straight into the ability to start a loan application. You can also take a minute to, you have an option there to find a local loan officer. So you can actually click on that button, find somebody that's in your local area. If you don't see somebody in your city or in your general location, then we've got people, and if we can do a loan in that state, if we're licensed to do business in that state, we've got somebody on staff who will be able to take care of you and will be able to get that loan process started for you. Just tell them that you heard about it here on our YouTube channel and that you are interested in enrolling in Thrive4Home, and we'll get you all the details and all the information that you need about that. So with that being said, I think that we covered a lot of stuff, man.
We did.
I think we covered a lot more than we were initially planning on covering.
Well,
good.
Have me back.
I will. Yeah, we're gonna have this. This is
We
gonna
have
be
more people to help.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a lot more people to help. This is definitely going to be. You're going to see Tay a lot. You're going to see. You also recorded a video for us not too long ago.
Yeah.
Kind of talking about this program. So if you want to get into a little bit more details, just look back through our videos. Look for a thumbnail. It's got his face on it, and you'll be able to watch that video. And it's you weren't wearing the cool shades like I was in my video, but we'll
I'm not as cool as you. We've already established this.
Whatever. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up, but we appreciate you guys tuning in and paying attention. Thank you for those of you who submitted questions. If you've got additional questions, well, I mean, we monitor. This is our channel, so we're always on it.
Call
so
us up.
If you've got additional questions, you can either reach out to us directly, like you can call our call into our offices, and somebody will pick up the phone and talk to you, or you can just pop a comment down below, and we will get you the answers that you need. But we would love to connect with you, and we would love, especially if you would hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the little jingle bell that's over there to the side, so that you get reminded whenever we are posting new content out on our channel. We'd love for you to engage with that and let us know what you think. And if there's any questions that you have about any topic in general, we'd love to hear those. Maybe we'll do another Thrive Live episode featuring your question. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Tay, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, my man.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Always fun to hang out with Tay. But y'all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week on Thrive Live. Bye, everybody.